Holy shit. That's sloppy.
That's the song by those three sons. I was gonna play it and it's coming down. Don't worry.
Now a swatter, that's a real weapon. Talk to Mo Cronin. He'll fix you up. You keep an eye on that thing. I don't want to hear about anybody getting bit.
Arturo.
Got some great stuff, if you're interested.
Let's see what you have.
Don't forget to stock up on them.
another great day out here at the track. You all get your bets in? I sure did. And here they come. Bob's your uncle is coming up fast. It's neck and neck. Piece of junk is really showing off those new mods. This is one hell of a race. Coming up next, Lady Lovelace takes on the Iron Maiden in a head-to-head match. Oh, what a minute.
Courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, sir. Designation X688. I've already neutralized the perimeter guard. Just give the word, and we can start the assault on the main flotilla.
All right, let's go.
Right behind you, sir. Hold up a moment, sir. There's something important I need to tell you.
I'm listening.
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, it'll reset his cognitive processes and make him docile. You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon. Once he's shut down, I can transport him safely back to the Institute.
Jesus, what a mouthful.
Then talk fast, sir. Just make sure you get it right. That's all, sir. Ready when you are.
Hell yeah.
Well
Judging
done.
by your gear, you are agent just like me. So, made it to the top. Is the Institute so desperate for resources? Stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
B592 initialize factory reset, authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
What? You okay? Gabriel, can you hear me? Take them out!
Better make good. Nice work, sir. I'll take this. This is X688, ready to be reclaim synth B592.
Believe that? 3.
Father is more than just our leader.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
Gabriel and his gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
While we can do nothing for Gabriel's victims, we can at least take comfort in the knowledge that the threat has been removed. But enough about that. The task is done, and you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Components to make something that's actually
Welcome
useful.
to the Institute, sir.
Your new quarters are here, sir. When you're finished here, Father wants to see you.
Acquisition clearance granted. How may I help you?
Sure. Let's take a look.
Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
I'd teach the guy a lesson. Make sure he never does it again.
Using physical force is never my first choice. But there are times when it becomes necessary. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
They're crazy, thinking machines are alive.
Agreed. However noble they may believe themselves to be, they are thieves. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Sounds pretty simple.
Hopefully, yes. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
I'll act quickly. You can count on me.
You'll have a contact waiting for you just outside Bunker Hill.
Miss?
You'll get used to Diamond City security being unhelpful. Just ignore him like I do.
You keep an eye on that thing. I don't want to hear about anybody getting bit. I hear you've been asking questions around town. What, Diamond City's got 2 private dicks now?
Hey.
You look like you could use a drink. Right out in is the cold ones. I'm telling you, it ain't just a store.
Hey, Arturo.
Everything I got will keep you safe.
My sense.
Sure. Let's take a look.
Feel free to test the grips.
You again. Alright, got plenty of supplies.
I'll take a look, sure.
Just don't call it junk.
Arturo.
We can talk about guns, or maybe you want to consider...
I've got a few minutes to browse.
Feel free to test...
Sure.
Hey, swata, 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 swata! Swing! Swata!
Protection for sale! Hand-tooled pieces!
Prescribed chems, as recommended by me, myself, and I.
surplus.
Protection for sale! Hand-tooled pieces!
No skull in the league to stand a swat.
We buy and sell everything, to everyone, except synths. No synths allowed here.
Win the game. Buy a squatter.
Don't walk outside the wall undefended. High-quality protection for sale.
Synth-free shopping, right here. You again. All right, got plenty of supplies.
I'll take a look, sure.
Everything you need.
You willing to do some work?
Say, to us, I knew you'd join us here, kid. Your energy is tied to this place.
I used to live here. A long time ago.
Ah, but the distant past ain't so distant for you. I saw you leave that icebox. This whole world is like some bad dream you can't wake up from, isn't it? The site can help you, kid. It always has answers. Just gotta bring me some jet so I can see what it wants to tell you.
Maybe. Let me think it over.
Well, ain't like I'm going anywhere. The site will be here when you need it.
Donald Murphy, can we talk?
That death law in Concord was bad news, huh, Mama? Seen one of those fuckers before?
Oh, sure. Plenty. One time, I killed a death claw all by myself. No power. Mama.
Hey, X4.
I've been waiting for you.
Sorry to have held you up.
Try and keep up from here out. Our targets are inside, 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. We move in, secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear? The mission's parameters just changed. I'm going shooting. Requesting backup relay now.
Get up! Get up!
Let's do this.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus. All right, Synth.
Please.
C322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. You're there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. Sudden moves.
Please, no.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest.
That's all of them. Objective complete.
Hey,
I will
Synth.
relay the synths back to the Institute.
Hostile sensor.
Hostile sensor reading detected. Someone there? Terminated.
Son.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
Some air fresheners, a new coat of paint, and it'll all be good as new.
If only it were that simple. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Your unconditional love is overwhelming. I think I need a moment.
I can accept that you're offended. You must understand, though. I have had no love to feel. We have been strangers until now, you and I. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do. It's remarkable. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
It was a job that needed doing.
Yes, but it was also a job that you needed to be aware of. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in. Let's get this directory meeting over with before we... Speak further. It's important. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ayo has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Of course.
Really? Well, there's no shame in being out of the loop, as it were. The project has been classified for quite a long time. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
Right. Such hard times down here.
I would never disagree that life in the Institute is better than above ground. We have done much to ensure it. Now, we take things even further. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Sounds like an important step.
That's an understatement. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir?
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Can't
Please,
be serious.
everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
Why would you joke about this? It isn't funny.
Were it a joke, I'd agree it's in poor form. But I'm afraid it's not. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
The Institute's a big place. It might take a while to learn where everything is.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I can do the job.
Of course you can. That's why I made the decision. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Allie.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
Of course, that's why we're talking. Otherwise, you'd be up top already. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
That sounds dangerous.
Any place above ground has its risks, but that's why you're in charge. You're there to protect me.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
I know you'll achieve great things here. We all do.
The Brotherhood sure is here. Guess we'll have to go through them.
Aha! Found you!
Aha! Found you!
Dr. Fillmore.
If I was a pre-war tech around, where would I keep all my best toys?
Dr. Fillmore.
If I was a pre-war tech conglomerate, where would I keep all my best toys?
Be able to hack this. Allie.
Well, isn't this fun?
Nice try. Victory! Long live the brother.
There's the reactor. Not a bad piece of work for its time.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
they're beaten, do they? I'll help the synths buy some time. Make sure you get back to the Institute with the agitator.
Allie.
Well, isn't this fun?
Movement detected.
Father has always been a little unpredictable. I suppose his choice of a successor should be fine.
Remember, health and happiness.
Dr.
go
Fillmore.
hand in hand.
I think that was enough excitement for, well, ever. Thank you, really. Couldn't have managed it without you. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting.
Interesting. How's your energy? Interesting. You're sticking to the regimen?
Yes, Doctor. I'm taking all my little pills.
I see. And you've been getting extra rest?
Are there many more of these questions?
Interesting.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I think that will be all for now.
But I haven't quite finished.
I believe we're done now. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
The job is done. That's what matters.
For the moment, yes. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context, however, given their penchant for hoarding technology. Future conflict with them is guaranteed. We are, after all, keepers of the most advanced technology in the Commonwealth, if not beyond. It also cannot go unnoticed that there were concerns within the Institute about your allegiances. I, of course, never doubted your commitment to our cause. But by directly confronting the Brotherhood, I think you've put some others at ease. I'm proud of you, regardless. The Brotherhood is an issue for the future, and we must focus on the present. And look at me, rambling on like the old man I am. I'm wasting time. You're needed elsewhere at once.
Whatever it is, I can take care of it.
I certainly hope so. While you were working with Dr. Fillmore, a small team was dispatched elsewhere in the Commonwealth. Dr. Thompson was tasked with inviting someone from the Commonwealth to join the Institute.
Let me guess. He botched the job.
It is unclear exactly what happened, but at this time I am not concerned with placing blame. There was no indication that this would be a problem, but the arrival of the team was an unwelcome surprise to Mr. Wallace. Somewhere along the way, he must have realized we'd been monitoring him from a distance. He called in mercenaries to defend him. I'm sure they're nothing we can't handle. Ensure the safety of the team and Mr. Wallace, and see that they all arrive back here safely. I'll be waiting.
Take good care of yourself, and you won't have to see too much of me.
Huh? What the? Lock it!
Thank God you're here. I was starting to worry we might not make it out of this mess.
Let's focus on getting back.
I couldn't agree more. I know he's potentially important to Phase 3 and all, but I'm not sure it's worth putting ourselves in harm's way.
If he's really important to the Institute, then it's worth it.
You're right, I suppose. I know they've been keeping an eye on him for years. Not sure how they originally found him, but probably don't want to know. But once they realized how smart he was and what an asset he could be for Phase 3, they watched pretty closely. I think they even fed him scientific material from time to time to see how good he was, you know, testing him, to see if he was Institute material. Let's just get Wallace and get out of here.
No argument from me. Let's go.
Right. There's a slight problem with that. He doesn't want to go with us. I was thinking, maybe you could try and talk to him.
No problem. I'm sure I can get him to see reason.
I hope so. We really need him.
Mr. Wallace, I'm here to talk to you.
You're another one of them, aren't you? Are you a robot?
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I'm not a robot.
That's exactly what a robot would say. I've heard all the stories. I know exactly what happens to people when the Institute shows up. Well, it's not happening to me.
Hey, just calm down, okay? I just want to talk to you.
Fine. What do you want from me?
The Institute needs your help, Mr. Wallace. It's as simple as that.
My help? With what?
The Institute has an engineering problem that your scientific expertise could help solve. In exchange for helping us out, you'd be granted access to the most advanced research facility imaginable. Whatever research you wanted to perform, anything, it's possible there. I promise. You'd be safe and secure in a way that's completely impossible anywhere else.
You'd be helping us create a better world.
That sounds good. Okay, fine. I'll go.
You must be pretty excited being named the next director. Okay. I think we've got this under control now. Thanks. Thanks for the assist.
Hey, I'm here to help. You're welcome.
I really mean it. I owe you one. I'll see you back in the Institute.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
Father has done remarkable things. I did not exist before.
Ah, there you are. I cannot. Our new guest is familiar.
Son.
Ah, there you are. I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings. Yet he's already pointed out several inefficiencies in our methods. With his help, Phase 3 will be ready in no time. And it's all thanks to you.
I'm proud to help the Institute. Here's hoping it all pays off.
At this point, there is no doubt. It will succeed, and very shortly. There is one more part for you to play, and I think you might enjoy it. It is time to announce our presence to the Commonwealth, to request that they do not interfere with our plans. You should be the one to do it.
Right, because no one up there suspects the Institute exists.
This is not a joke. There has been too much posturing by too many groups. The world needs to know that we are in power, and the Commonwealth is ours. As the incoming director, it is your responsibility to lead, to establish that place for the Institute's future. Please take this seriously. We've prepared some remarks for you to record. Once you're finished, we'll broadcast them to the entire Commonwealth.
Use the microphone here and follow the script. It's quite simple. I'm sure you'll do fine, Father.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists.
that we are among you. It is true. But it is not the whole truth. We're here. And we are the future. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will persevere long after the world above ground ceases to exist. Ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your daily lives. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in unnecessary difficulties for all parties. Rest easy. Know that the future is underground, and that mankind will thrive under our guidance.
Well, that was interesting. Perhaps not what we originally intended, but it will certainly get your point across. Now it's time to make sure that everyone hears it. How would you feel about making a little trip to Diamond City?
I could use some fresh air.
A quaint phrase, though I'm afraid the air there is anything but fresh. The radio station in Diamond City is listened to by many in the Commonwealth. If we'd like the people to hear what we have to say, it's the best way to reach them. Before we preempt their broadcasts, we need to ensure it reaches the maximum range possible. I've been assured that the necessary parts are on site. You'll just need to install them to boost the broadcasting power. Report back when you're done. We should be ready by then.
You hear about the battle between the Brotherhood and Institute? One at Bunker Hill? A bunch of people got killed or something. You need something, Scaver?
Hi. There.
Okay, let's try this. Maybe this goes here? Alright, and you go.
I don't, okay. I usually don't.
I wish you could have known Father as we have.
Scanning. Subject identified.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued? That was my favorite one.
A clean and healthy work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
Best part of my day is coming home to my girl.
Enjoy your trip to the big city. It's done then? The transmitter has been modified.
Everything is in place. It's ready to go when we are.
Good. Once the reactor is online, we'll cut into their broadcast. I'll let you do the honors. This, my friends, is the moment we've all worked for. After all your effort, the time has finally come to start our reactor. No longer will we be forced to compromise to survive. No more will we need worry about outpacing our resources. My father and I couldn't be more proud of what you have helped us accomplish, and we look forward to achieving even greater things in the future. The Institute is now truly mankind's best hope. Thank you. All of you. Our advances will in time change the world.
Sean.
It's almost hard to believe. After all those years of hard work, here we are. We've arrived. Look what you've made possible.
I did good work, didn't I?
Yes. Yes, you did. There's more work to be done before the Institute's future is guaranteed. The Directorate has convened a meeting about how to proceed. I'm not going to attend. You should be there as director.
I have to admit, the third generation sensor.
Dr. Carlin's doing
May I
some
be the first to
amazing
welcome you,
things
sir.
with our
We're
genetically
looking forward
engineered
to working
crops.
with you.
I'm happy to be here, Dr. Fillmore. I hope I do the position justice.
I'm sure you will.
Right now, we're all here because it's finally time to stand up for ourselves.
Let's not be dramatic, Justin.
There's nothing dramatic about it. We're in a position to push back, to assert ourselves here. That's what we've talked about all along.
To bring you up to speed, obviously there are groups in the Commonwealth that stand in opposition to the Institute's goals. With the reactor now online, we have the ability to not only expand synth production, but to project power to a much greater degree.
I'm sure the reactor will improve everyone's life. It's a great accomplishment.
Yes, but it's not just that. The Directorate has agreed that steps must be taken to ensure our safety in the long run.
Let's not beat around the bush. The Directorate has agreed that the Brotherhood of Steel needs to be eliminated.
As the incoming director, we felt it important to inform you of the decision and get your thoughts on it. So, where do you stand?
I agree. We hit them hard, before they have time to react to our new position.
Good. That's just what I wanted to hear.
As director, it's up to you and how we focus our efforts in achieving this goal. We'd like your input on what direction we should take. Do we increase synth production or focus on weapons development?
I've seen enough to know the weapons are the key to winning wars. Let's focus on weapons development.
As you wish. The advanced systems folks will get to work immediately. Thank you very much for your time, sir. That's all we have for the moment. I believe Father wished to speak with you once our meeting concluded.
Being the director of the Institute is a serious commitment. I hope you understand that.
X688 sounded very impressed with his work. He doesn't give praise lightly.
Father is more than just our leader. He is
We got more than enough.
Remember, health and happiness go hand in hand.
Sean.
Ah, there you are. You've met with the Directorate. I assume they made their intentions known? It was difficult for them to reach the decision to engage in open hostility. What about you? You agree with their decision?
It's the only way we can ensure the Institute's safety. That makes it the right thing to do.
I'm glad you agree. None what comes next will be easy. That conviction may help keep us all going.
You know, Father, it's no secret that you worked with the Railroad in order to first reach the Institute.
The depth of your involvement with them has been called into question repeatedly. I'm sure you can guess by whom. The question is, where do you stand with them now? Do you count them amongst your allies?
They mean nothing to me. Never have.
I'll admit, I'm relieved to hear that. Then I certainly hope I can count on you for what needs to be done. Because these fanatics cannot be allowed to continue to exist. They represent a very clear threat to the Institute. Small as they are in number, their twisted ideology ensures that they will never stop trying to strike at us. They must be eradicated. Are you willing to see to it?
You don't have to worry about them any longer. They're as good as dead.
Thank you. Do what needs to be done, but keep yourself safe.
To think I'd be above ground, suffering.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs.
heck would that Institute guy talking about? The above world will cease to exist? What the sound of that?
Hey, ain't no shame in taking a
Sell everything. Stim packs, ammunition.
Let's see what you got.
Oh, every conceivable good you could ever need.
Right. I've got a few minutes to browse.
The highest.
Uh-huh.
City surplus. Open.
Huh? Speak up.
Another good one. Another good one from Bethesda. So, there are some rumors out there in the Commonwealth that I have heard. You know the one about the railroad? A group that actually helps? They help synths who want to escape the Institute? Yeah? Well, maybe it's not just a rumor. I mean, it is as far as I know, of course, but, I mean, they may actually be out there. It sounds kind of crazy, if you ask me. And if it were real, it'd be super dangerous, I bet. I think it's way safer to just sit here and play music. Why do these objects keep moving? Because I move them. And then I forget. Here's music.
I want to be left alone.
You look like you could use a drink.
Here we go, some Bob Crosby. I really like.
You willing to do some work?
Hey, it's Whisper. Whisper's back.
Everyone's all, you've been hitting the chems way too hard. But I got my eyes open.
People of the Commonwealth.
Sam, let's see what I got in my bag.
You have
That is going
technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate the nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will persevere long after the world above ground ceases to exist. Ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere with important details of daily lives. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in unnecessary right for all parties. Rest easy. No future is underground.
It's only a matter of
under our guidance.
time.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth.
And so, the work is done. I am sorry. I know it was likely difficult for you.
Nope. Not a problem at all.
I regret that it came to this, even if you don't. There was just no way to compromise with those people. There is obviously one final threat the Institute faces.
Sure. There's always one last thing.
You're not wrong, I suppose. There will always be issues that need to be dealt with, but this is something else entirely. The Brotherhood of Steel covets technology, and has made it clear that we cannot peacefully coexist. They will eventually come for us, and attempt to take what we've spent so long creating. We need to destroy them, before they can destroy us.
You're right. We take the fight to them.
I'm glad you agree. But the problem with the Brotherhood of Steel goes beyond the edges of the Commonwealth. It's not enough to destroy them here.
There are more of them out there in the world, Father. And they too will come for us.
So even if we fight them here, eventually we're screwed.
Oh, not necessarily. We will show them that if they interfere with us, the very technology they value so highly will be turned against them. We will teach them that we can appear at a moment's notice, wherever we please, and they cannot ever stop us. They will know better than to ever interfere with us again.
You seem pretty convinced this will work.
The Institute is nothing if not thorough. Dr. Lee should be expecting you in her lab. She can fill you in on the details. Time is of the essence.
At last, we have power adequate to our needs.
Dr. Lee.
What can I do for you?
Yeah?
Sean says it's time.
Ah, that. Well, let's get to it. Dr. Orman, over here, please. It's time.
What now? I'm still working over the code that the robotics sent over. The algorithm is a mess. It's not even close to peak efficiency.
It would seem we've run out of time. Let's go. We're going to cover the basics of the operation as it stands now. Dr. Orman has done most of the prep work, so I'll let her explain.
Okay, thanks. Is this really exciting, or is it just me? So, you know that the Brotherhood's main operation is at the airport, right?
I'm aware of that, yes.
Okay, good. If they were a little less intelligent, we wouldn't even be talking about this. We'd have just swarmed them with synths. But they're not idiots. They've managed to generate an EM field that's messing with our ability to relay in.
So we just relay onto the airship and sabotage it.
Won't do us any good. There's no direct connection between their robot and the airship. So the immediate area around their encampment is a no-go. They don't, however, have the entire airport covered. We can relay you in to a point at the edge of the airport, and then you can get in and take down the generators.
That can't be the whole plan.
No, it's just the first part. Your job then is to get closer to the main camp. You'll have Surprise on your side. Should give you some time before they can organize a real defense. For every generator you take down, it means we can start relaying in synths, giving you even more of an advantage. And, oh, I almost forgot. Take these.
And these would be...
Oh, you'll like this. This thing, and I haven't come up with a good name for it yet, it basically deploys a beacon marker. Wherever they land, we can lock onto them and relay synths directly to that position. If there's a hotspot, you can drop synths right on it. We've only got a few of these, so put them to good use. Don't go tossing them into the bay.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'm impressed.
I know, right? I mean, thanks. I thought it was neat. But still, it's just to help. Your real job will be to reach Liberty Prime. You know the deal with that, right?
It's the Brotherhood's giant robot.
Right. They think it's their ultimate weapon. We're going to show them it's ours. We've taken everything we know, made a few modifications based on what we think they've done with it in the past 10 years. And, this part was my idea, uploaded the whole thing into a modified synth, capable of delivering the virus directly into Liberty Prime. The little guy is going to be exposed and vulnerable, so you'll have to keep an eye on him. Make sure he doesn't get shot, you know?
With Liberty Prime on our side, that'll give us a hell of an advantage.
He's not going to go stomping around, and he won't be taking orders. But he will have his weapons and targeting systems overridden. And he'll absolutely recognize their airship as the primary communist target in the Commonwealth. So your end goal is ultimately pretty simple. Get to the robot, then hold the position while the synth does his thing. Oh, and don't worry, we'll pull you out of there before everything explodes.
If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, they'll be waiting for you in the relay room.
What have I got for backup?
Once the generators are down, we'll be able to throw everything we've got at them. And I do mean everything.
Have we got a plan B?
We don't need a plan B. This will work. Anything else?
No questions. Let's do this.
Very well. Good luck to you.
Dr. Lee might not show it, but I can tell she's excited about having the reactor online.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start.
The old man.
For the Brotherhood. Take no prisoners.
Engaging target.
Right here.
Unit X688 speaks highly of your combat skills.
Hold it right there.
System. Initialize. Hostile software detected.
Finalizing upload in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Operation complete. Shutting down.
Updated tactical assessment. Red Chinese presence detected. Aerial incursion by communist forces cannot succeed. Initiating directive 7395. Destroy all communists.
Time to go, sir. We're relaying to a safe location. Power armor is sturdy enough, but it limits your mobility. Report anything suspicious to the SRB.
Good evening.
Hello, Sean.
Ah. There you are. I've already heard the news. But of course you wouldn't be here if it weren't a success. I'm glad it worked, but I'm glad you're safe.
It's all over.
Ah. But it's really not. It's just beginning for you. The Institute is in your hands now. Lead them well. Allie has always been loyal to the Institute, and to me. You can rely on her for help. Once I'm gone, it's all up to you.
I'll do my best.
I know you will. Don't worry about me. You need to look ahead. Focus on the future. Our time together has been strange, hasn't it? I spent years wondering what you were like. Thinking about all we missed out on. I want you to know that I'm grateful for the time we've had.
I don't know what to say.
Shh. It's all right. Thank you. Father, you've helped a boy achieve his dreams. I think I'd like to sleep now.
I've lost Sean. All over again. I close my eyes. I see my life before all of this. Before the bombs. Everything can change in an instant, and the future you plan for yourself shifts, whether or not you're ready. At some point, it happens to all of us. This wasn't the world I wanted, but it was the one I found myself in. The Commonwealth. My home. Ripped apart and put back together. I hoped I could find my family, cheat time, make us whole again. The way we were. But now I know. I know I can't go back. I know the world has changed. That the road ahead will be hard. This time, I'm ready. Because I know war. War never changes.
I know this is a difficult time, but you're the director now. It's time for you to lead us.
Excuse me.
Don't tell me.
Allie.
He's gone, isn't he? I'm very sorry. I know this must be difficult for you.
Thank you. That's kind of you.
I'm certainly happy to do whatever I can to help going forward. Obviously, the director's quarters are now yours. I'll see to it that requisitions is restocked and have them add in some additional items to be used at your discretion. Some of the divisions may still need your help. Consider checking in with them. Good luck, Director. You went through so much to find your son, only to lose him. I'm so sorry.